One. Here we go, people. We are back at you once again with another podcast.
Oh no, not another podcast.
Yes, sir. We are back and we are live. And not only that, this is going to be the last podcast of 2024. Wow.
Damn, 2024, dude.
It kind of went fast for me. What about you?
Yeah.
And it's just,
Especially the past 4 years.
yeah, it's crazy. This year has just kind of, well, it didn't go too fast, but it kind of felt like it went fast, but it's all good.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what, my dad always told me. He always said that, like, the older you get, the more you notice that time will fly by faster.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
the older I get, the more I do realize, like, man, it's like a day will go by like feel like a few hours.
Yeah, that's true. It does go fast.
Yeah.
So, in this podcast, we've got a few things we're going to be doing. We prepped for this one. We're going to be talking about wrestlers who passed away in 2024.
Yeah. Sadly, we lost a few good ones in 2024.
Sadly, we lost a few good ones, like you said, which some of them, we're not going to go talk about every one of them, but we are going to talk about a few of them.
The ones that we knew and we remember growing up with. And
right, and I'll name some of them right now, which is one of them was Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Sullivan, oh yeah, he, say what you want about him, but, as far as a wrestler, like, I mean, he wasn't the biggest guy.
Well, he had size.
I mean, he was
And
truly
muscle.
one of the toughest. Like,
Yeah.
you see him go out, he wasn't just your average wrestler. Like, I mean, he would get you in the ring and just beat the living shit out of you.
Yeah. And also, let's see here, Sid Vicious passed away.
Yeah.
Ole Anderson passed away, and Virgil passed away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And we're going to be talking about those guys here at some point during the podcast. Also, we're going to be answering questions from Daniel Santana throughout the podcast. And on top of that, we're going to be playing some funny clips for you guys that me and my buddy Joe have found, over the years here on YouTube. Yeah, so I got a couple of those lined up for us to listen to.
Yeah, videos that we think are, to us, were absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, some of them are really good. So I got some of that stuff lined up for us. But yeah, 2024, man, can you believe it?
Crazy, man.
We just went through this year kind of fast and whatnot.
It felt like, it's weird, it felt like just like yesterday. Remember it being 1999 and going into the year 2000.
Right.
And thinking, oh man, like everybody was expecting, like, 2000, all this crazy shit was going to happen.
Yeah. Things are going to shut down or something like that.
Yeah, and like, here it is now, 24 or 25 years later.
Yeah, that's crazy how fast time goes,
Yeah, it's like, it just feels like, I still think of stuff like that happened in like the 90s and early 2000s, and sometimes you think, like, you get to realize, like, wow, that was over 20 to 25 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the 90s, those were some of the best years ever, I think.
Yeah.
When it came to a lot of things. Video games, it was fun playing video games back then. It was awesome watching wrestling back then.
Yeah.
And movies. They had some damn good films that came out those times.
Yeah, and we had plenty of damn video stores that...
Oh, yeah, plenty of rental stores, Blockbusters.
Yeah.
You name it, man. Videoplex, Movie Mania.
Yeah. We were never big on renting movies, but we were always in the mood for buying movies.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, like... I'm sure we talked about this in past podcasts, but every time when we worked at Farmer Jack's back in 1997,
we had that Blockbuster
we had the Blockbuster that was right there in the same plaza.
Yeah,
and when on Fridays we would just get our asses over there and go buy VHS tapes.
Yeah, because there's always a movie that I wanted to buy, like.
Right.
I remember picking up that movie G.I. Jane from there, and like thinking like, oh man, they gotta have it out there for sale.
Right.
Like, I gotta go get this. We get paycheck, get it cashed, and be like, oh man, I want to go right to this video store.
Yeah.
Plus, we had Hollywood Video.
Yeah, I was saying like Hollywood Video. We had Movie Mania.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Video? What was it? Videoplex?
Yeah, Videoplex. I actually worked there.
Yeah. It was really good times, man.
That was actually the coolest job I ever had. Like,
yeah, because you would get in the movies, you could view films before they were released for rental.
Not just that, but being a movie fanatic like I am.
Yeah.
Like, people would come in and be like, hey, I'm looking for this movie with so and so. He played this and that, and blah 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 blah. Be like, oh yeah, action department, third aisle down there, man.
That's awesome.
Like I knew, like all you had to do was like, just give me a person that was in it, what the storyline was about. It's like, oh yeah, there was this movie right over here.
Right, because we had different areas, like areas for drama, areas for action. Yeah. Did you have a wrestling area at Videoplex there?
I don't think it was like wrestling. I think it was like a little area for like sports and.
Okay, gotcha.
I
I remember when I went in there, a lot of times I would go in there and check out the Hong Kong films, and they had a lot of Jackie Chan stuff. And
remember they also had an adult section.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. But you would have to kind of go into a room in order to.
Yeah, you have to go back. You have to go back in this little room, and it was just like there's a whole area displayed of like
naked women.
Like, wait a minute, I don't want to. I think I should have came in here.
It was good times, man. Old school. But yeah, I remember back in the day, because I'm pretty big into martial art movies. I would go up to Videoplex. I remember they had this film with Billy Blanks called TC-2000, and when it first got released on VHS somewhere in the 90s, I saw it on the shelf. I was like, oh wow, Billy's got a new movie out, but all the fucking tapes were rented out, so I had to wait like a week in order to rent the movie. But I was like, damn it.
Hate that? Didn't you hate something like you go like you find out like a movie's like there was times where like my parents had membership cards. I think I even had a membership card to Blockbuster, and whenever they were coming out with a new movie, if it was like something that I saw a trailer for and I wanted to see, I'd go up to Blockbuster, and sure enough, like they have like 15 or 20 copies of it, and not one tape. It was just all like. Right. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that would happen from time to time, especially on big releases like True Lies. I remember that was fucking sold out. Or any of the Batman movies back in the day, those were like out.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would release a film that was like so popular that you could also buy it for $20. You know, like the Batman movies, you could just outright and buy it.
Yeah. That's why a lot of times I'd rather, like, instead of, going out and renting a movie, you go to, like, Kmart or Target or whatever, and you could buy the movie.
Right. We used to do that a lot back in the day. We would buy a lot of VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And those were some really good times.
I remember going to Videoplex, finding one cool movie that I was looking for called Coupe de Ville.
Who stars in it?
It's got Daniel Stern. I forgot I think one of Patrick Dempsey.
Okay.
And this other guy. They like they're three brothers. They get together to pick up this 50s like Cadillac convertible. They need to drive back to their, take it to their father. Yeah. It was going to be like a gift to his mom or something. And just like the wild adventures they get into on the way, it's just like it was a pretty cool movie.
Oh yeah, I remember when you were working there, a movie head came in and I didn't know about it, but it came in. It was one with Danny Trejo and Ken Shamrock. This martial art movie.
Yeah, Champions.
And I remember you were able to see it before it came out for rental.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, dude. I was like, it's cool that they were put Ken Shamrock in a movie. And that's one film I don't think a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those low budget, like, action / martial art movies.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have that on DVD.
Yeah. I remember getting those tapes. They were like, we got like screening tapes.
Right,
like,
that's what I'm talking about. You were able to see them before they were put on shelves.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, how do we get these before it came out? And it's just like, I guess they're like, the video stores could order them before they come out, and they could get like a screening copy and watch it. And if they think like, oh man, people will rent this movie, yeah,
right.
Like,
let us buy some and bring them in.
Yeah, I remember I got to.
Which ones do you remember that you were able to screen back then? We're talking like what 90s? What year? 97, 98?
I want to say probably it was 98 when I worked at
Okay. So what were some of the films that you were able to screen? I know it was that Ken Shamrock movie, Champions.
Champions is one of them.
Right, I remember that.
Another one of them was Species 2.
Oh, okay, cool. I've seen that at the theaters.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
But, damn, there was something else. Didn't we see Double Team with Van Damme and Dennis Rodman, or did we see that in the theater?
Oh, I've seen all Van Damme films in theaters, pretty much. But yeah, you probably were able to screen that.
Like I said, there was a bunch probably back around that time.
Yeah.
I remember my boss being like really, like really bent on like. Like they even asked you, like, is he taking these movies over to your house? Or
yeah, he did ask me because I didn't work there, and he's asked me if we're watching these films at my place. I told him no, I'm not really interested in movies that much, but I was bullshitting them. We were actually fucking watching them at my place. I don't see the big deal, but I can understand.
He was trying to make it act like we were committing some big crime or something. Like, ooh, we're watching a movie. I'm watching a movie at my friend's house.
Right. Big deal. I guess back then it was a big deal. Now that you look back on it, over 20 years ago, it's kind of silly.
Well, dude, it was 20. Like if it was 98.
Right. Like what? Almost 25 years ago.
26.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
They're good times though.
I mean, yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was cool because, like, I remember like Videoplex had the biggest like thing of movies that they had for sale. Remember that?
Right.
You walked in, they had this fucking like table after table after table, and they just had them stacked. Like,
right.
We were like,
they also had posters as well. I got a lot of my posters, which I don't think I've ever talked about before, from Videoplex, like my Van Damme posters or Jackie Chan stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think I got all of them pretty much from there.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, and I forgot all about that too until now. That's weird. That's awesome, dude. Fuck yeah. That now really brings back some memories. Because, I would go there and they would have posters for sale for like a few dollars or something. And I would like go get the Van Damme posters or go get the Jackie Chan posters.
Yeah. Remember, it was also cool, like Videoplex also, you could buy the movies that they had out for rent. Like,
oh, yeah. They would charge you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I paid like a ridiculous price for one movie, but honestly, I wanted the movie that bad enough. It was a movie called Spitfire. With
Lance Hendrickson?
Yeah. And I always liked the movie, and you could only find it on VHS there at that store.
Yeah.
And I asked him straight up, like, how much would it cost for me to buy this movie? I don't want to rent it. I want to buy it,
Right.
And I think I paid like $30. Like, he'd have charged me like retail price, what,
what they pay for.
Like it was like $30 or something like that.
Yeah. What's the most money you spent on like a single VHS tape? Do you remember?
$50.
50?
It was for a WCW event.
Which one?
It was what was it? I think it was Super Brawl 5.
Was it brand new?
No, like it was like
it was
like,
used.
Like, yeah, it was like the rental copy.
Oh wow, yeah.
But I mean, for some reason, I really wanted it. You know, I had, we were working at the time. I had money, and I was like, yeah, it's like it's crazy. I'm gonna spend $50 on it, but where else am I gonna get this?
But you know what? I don't know what it's worth now, but if you would have kept it, it'd probably been worth some money.
Yeah.
A lot of those old school tapes, wrestling tapes, have went up in value for sure.
I know.
Hell yeah. So
I used to have. It was crazy. I mean, I used to have quite the damn VHS wrestling library.
Oh, I know, man. You had a hell of a great library.
Yeah,
of wrestling tapes. I wish I would have bought them off you or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm always keeping an eye out for wrestling VHS tapes, but I don't really see them anywhere.
But I know I had like I had events from all the way from like 1990 all the way up to like the fucking Monday Night Wars, where I had Raw and Nitros, from Pacific Dates, and all this is like, man, I got like my whole history of wrestling right here.
Hell yeah, that's some good times.
Yeah, but like at times in life, you fall into a predicament where you got to sell your shit, and I had to sell.
You sold it all off, didn't you?
Yeah, I basically, got rid of my whole wrestling collection.
Except for some of the VHS tapes that you recorded wrestling onto.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them I don't over the years got either lost, or I think some of them I recorded over with like movies and shit.
Right.
But yeah, so I got rid of that. I had to get rid of my movie collection, and now it's like my predicament now where I can get a movie collection back. And
hell yeah. But I'm always keeping my eye out for wrestling, like DVDs, Blu-rays, and VHS tapes.
There's some wrestling events that I still pick up from time to time. Like if I see some events at the local Goodwills or whatever for like $1 or something. I think I got you a couple somewhere that I've had sitting around for a couple of years now. I've been meaning to get to you.
Yeah, it's all good. So let's I want to dive into a couple questions here.
All right.
Bites, because some of these are wrestling related, and he talks about VHS tapes here too. So this will all go together pretty well. So we got some questions here from Daniel Santana. First question is, did Joe own WrestleMania 7 VHS tape in the 90s?
I sure did.
Hell yeah.
Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter. They had the cover. Remember Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter just like staring at each other like.
And the covers of the VHS tapes back then I thought were really cool. They put some effort into them. Unlike the later years, the back then the covers look fucking cool.
Well, in the early '90s, do you remember how they had the extra long like VHS covers?
Sure.
Like they had the one and they had like another little part. Well, you would buy those originally like brand new. The extra little slot thing was for like a poster.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever found one of those with the fucking poster still in there. But
that would have been cool.
Yeah, but they were still cool though. Like I said, the artwork and the fact that, like, you look at a fucking wrestling thing today, and you read the back, and it just barely tells you what's going on. It's like, oh, you got this and such and such, but on the back of an original, early '90s, whatever WWF event, you'd have the whole card displayed, and like
Right.
You know, and a lot more deal. It's like,
yeah, back then, like I said, they just put more effort into the covers and they look badass.
Yeah.
You know, versus the later years, like today, it looks like lazy rush jobs. You know, to me,
Yeah.
with the newer
Thinking
type
about,
covers.
Yeah. Thinking about WrestleMania 7, though, it reminds me in an episode of Hogan Knows Best where Brian Knobbs tries to wake up Hulk Hogan in the middle of the night. And he's like, "Hey, Hulk, you want to watch WrestleMania 7?"
That's awesome.
Hulk's just like, "Hey, come on, man, get out of here."
That's awesome. Okay, let's see.
That would be funny as hell. The way, like, fucking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody's sound asleep. You just walk in and be like, "Hey, man, want to watch WrestleMania 7?"
Yeah. I mean, that's cool, and I would watch it too.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And a lot of those VHS tapes, by the way, are probably like uncut. You know.
You know what? He asked about if I had WrestleMania 7. I had probably every WrestleMania from. I know I had WrestleMania 2 original VHS. I think I had WrestleMania 3. The only one I never got a VHS copy of was WrestleMania 4.
Why is that?
I know I had 5. I know I had 6. I had 7, 8. 8. I think I know I had WrestleMania 9, but it was recorded,
okay.
like, you know,
on a blank VHS tape.
Yeah, and I think I had WrestleMania 10, but it was the same way it was recorded. There were several, like, I had them all up till, I think, like, WrestleMania 14 or 15, and then, like, I missed a couple events, and I had, like, 17.
Right.
Austin and The Rock.
Yes.
That was when Stone Cold turned heel. That was a shock, dude. Like, you know, all that time Stone Cold, you know, came out being that badass dude, and then you see him, like, turn, after all his whole rivalry with Vince McMahon, you see him join forces with him at the end, and everybody's just like, "Are you kidding me?" You know?
Right. That's something.
Like all those years, all the years now you guys been feuding. Now all of a sudden you're pals.
They friends now, man.
Why can't we be friends?
All right, let's see. Next question here is: did Joe own WWF Magazine, November 1997, with Shawn Michaels holding a chair, and it says on the cover, "Why, Shawn? Why?"
You know, quite honestly, I don't know if I did or not.
I'd have to look at those.
I mean, it's possible because, like I said, I had a lot of wrestling magazines growing up in the day. Like,
right.
I don't quite remember what I had. I know every month, if I could, I was going when they were coming out with those back in the 90s. Like, I was like, you could always get them at like Rite Aid or. Remember back in the day before Rite Aid, before all that, like, remember you had, like, Perry Drugs and...
Oh, yeah.
What was the other one? Like, Arbor Drugs or something like that? And then they...
Something like that.
Like they changed it to, like, oh, it's going to be called Rite Aid Pharmacy.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, well, that's dumb, but... It's like years later, they still call it that, but...
Speaking of old school shit, I remember, like... when Kmart used to have, like, a pizza, you could buy pizza in Kmart.
Yes, they had the little freaking pizza. I remember getting subs from there.
Right, they had, like, a pizza area where you could, you know, buy pizza, like, and I believe, like you said, subs and shit. That was cool, man.
I'd always get a fucking ham and cheese sub with, like, made up, and they had this, like, dressing, like, it was like a I don't know if it was called like a pizza, like if it was a pizza sauce or Italian sauce or what, but I just know it made the subs so damn good. Like,
oh yeah.
Like every time, like I hear we're going to Kmart, it's like, oh, I want to go get one of those subs.
Hell yeah! Well, now you have to get them at Walmart.
Yeah,
they got good ones at Walmart.
You know what? We used to have one at the Walmart here, but it was it was Blimpies. And you go in there now, where it used to be at, they done away with it and made it like where they stock all their beer and sodas and shit.
Oh damn!
It's like, wait, what? Because back in the day, it was cool because you go into Walmart. Like I would go to the back where they had Blimpies. I'd always go in there, order me a sub, sit down there, eat, chill out. And then, when I'm done, I'd go shop and go hit the movie area and see what they had and go shop around. And it was like, man, it's nice to walk around with a nice full belly.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Next question is, do you remember the Family Feud game show, the episode with the Glow versus WCW of May 7, 1990? Which I do remember that because I just watched the documentary on the Glow Girls of Wrestling not too long ago, and they showed a pinch of that during the doc, I believe.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
You should watch the series they have. Glow.
Yeah, I'd like to. Ain't that on Netflix though?
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. Like, I found out why the women in the show, in the series, had like different names because one of the original women talked about that. They said the reason about that company, the women who wrestled there, they owned their own gimmicks. Like they own their own, so if they wanted to use their gimmick or their name in the show, they'd have to pay these women.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
But they made it obvious. Like you could actually tell who goes from where and who they become. But it's like they showed it before all that, and it's like, okay, that's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Glow, I mean, do you remember that episode of Family Feud?
You know what? I remember it. I don't think I ever watched it, but I did see it. It is on YouTube. Cause I just scrolled past it the other day. It was like, Family Feud segment, the Glow Girls versus WCW.
Yeah. And speaking of Glow, did you ever watch their wrestling back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. I watched it a little bit here and there. I never really got into it, but a little bit here and there.
I mean, it was different. You watch WWF or WCW, and you see, always men wrestling men. You very hardly ever saw women versus women, and in Glow, that's all you had was women versus women. And
right on.
It was cool because it was different. It was it's kind of cool to see the ladies, getting in on the action.
Hell yeah.
See them taking, and plus I remember they had some funny segments.
Right.
Yeah.
They had some interesting characters in there as well,
They had those, remember those Hawaiian girls, they do a segment where they're like,
yeah. Yeah.
I remember that shit.
That's funny. Let's see here. Next question. Do you recall a match with Judy Martin versus Bambi? It's a 1991 WCW Saturday night match. He says it's a good women's bout.
Okay, I'll have to check. I don't remember ever recall seeing it, but I will check it out. It does sound like a good match.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Get down with the... I remember Bambi. I always wondered what happened to her.
I have no idea.
She was big in Glow, and they had another women's organization. It was called the LPWA.
Yeah.
And but that what was cool about LPWA, it was more like, I mean, Glow was kind of like, you know, wrestling, comedy and bullshit, but LPWA was like the fucking WWF of like women's wrestling.
Okay.
Like that's where, you know, a lot of girls who later on became like stars. Like remember Ivory?
Oh yeah.
That's where she got her start from.
Wasn't she? I thought she started in Glow.
Did she start in Glow, or was it I thought it was LPWA. It was
I think she was in the documentary Glow, but I don't know if she started in Glow. But I know she's, you know, old school.
Yeah.
Old school, sir.
I remember Bambi fucking wrestling LPWA. Remember that's what like Luna Vachon wrestled there. Like a lot of the hardcore ladies fucking wrestled there.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Glow was fucking cool though. I remember that shit.
Yes, sir. Let's see here. Next question is, do you have, he says he's aware that you own the Tatanka figure from Hasbro, but he says, however, does Joe ever get the Jakes or the Mattel Tatanka figure?
I had one Tatanka figure. I don't know if it was Mattel or what, but it was like a newer one, like where he was in like the newer style of wrestling, the figures you get today.
Oh, okay.
And he had like black tights and like, you know, like war paint and, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
But besides that and the Hasbro, I honestly think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the only two Tatanka figures they ever made.
Oh, I'm sure they made more.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think they still pump out figure. I mean, I've seen, you know, figures every time I go to Walmart.
Yeah, do you see what they want for figures nowadays?
They're expensive.
Yeah, for like a regular figure, it's like $10. And then like, but if you want like what they call the elite figures, they're like $20-something. I'm like, damn, back when I was a kid, like those Hasbro figures and stuff were only like $3-4 fucking a damn piece.
Right.
Now
yeah,
like,
they went way up. Same thing with the Marvel Legends. They used to be like $8.99 when I collected them years ago, and then I noticed years later they're fucking like $20, $21.
Yeah, because I remember as a kid going to a store, and I had $10 in my. And for $10, I could get 2 wrestling figures and a wrestling magazine.
Yeah, not anymore.
No.
Maybe at a pawn shop or something. You know,
yeah,
a Goodwill.
It's very hard to find figures now, man, because, like, you know, like for cheap prices, like, you know, you can sometimes find them at, like, Goodwill.
Yeah. Or maybe you get lucky at a yard sale.
Yeah, like a thrift store or something like that, but
right,
you know, but it's like damn. I mean, I was looking at the figures. I was like, man, that sucks. I want like, you know, even if I was collecting figures, like, there's no way I'm gonna pay $20 for a figure.
Yeah, you'd have to have some good money. Let's see. Did Joe watch WWF Survivor Series live on pay-per-view? Let's see, November 19th, 1995, as in, did you order it? Did you order that event?
95. Okay.
November.
No, I did not, but you know what's funny? Like, I could, like, okay, the way our cable thing was set up years ago, around that time, and I think me and you done this before, where you could turn it on like a pay-per-view channel, but if you don't order the event, you could hear the event.
That's true.
You really couldn't see what was going on. And I remember like we could like listen to the event and hear what was going on, and you know, I think that was one of the events that I listened in on, and because I remember they had that wild, crazy matchup. It was like Shawn Michaels teaming with like Ahmed Johnson? It was him, Sid, and I think. I remember like Sid always turning on Shawn Michaels during the match and like power bombing him.
Damn.
You know.
Hell yeah.
They called it like a wild card match. They put like, I think it was like 2 good guys and 2 bad guys together, and you're like, wait a minute, these guys would never team up.
Hell yeah. Next question is, did you pick up any wrestling figures from like Target or Walmart in this year of 2024?
No.
So you basically, if you pick up figures, they got to be like used for a good price.
Yeah, I mean, they can still be in a but like I said, most of the time if you're gonna find them cheap, they're gonna be out of the package and used. But
right. Have you happened to pick up any figures this year used anywhere? Like at a thrift store or flea market?
Really?
Because didn't you pick up some figures, I want to say last year in a bag or something, a bag full of figures? I could be wrong about that.
No, that was a couple of years ago. I went to a Goodwill, and they had like a box of like wrestling figures. Right. I think they were wanting like $2 or $3 a figure.
Well, that's not bad.
And I just, I seen there was a bunch in there, and I had, some cash on me, and I was just like, ring them all up, I'll take them all. I think there was, maybe 20 or so figures.
Do you still own those figures, or did you sell them all?
I resold them.
What'd you sell them for?
I don't know, I think I sold them for, $5 a figure.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, some of them I sold, and I made some money off of them. I mean... It sucks. I mean, I really didn't buy them to resell. I bought them just to keep because I wanted to have a thing where I was wanting to collect figures again and kind of build a little a display area and just have them all on display or whatnot. Because I've seen some people on YouTube doing that shit, showing these cases, and they got just shitloads of wrestling figures in them, and it's
oh yeah,
I don't know why, but I want that.
Yeah, I would be displaying them.
I want to walk into a room and just, dude, some of these fans, some of the real die-hard wrestling fans, it's crazy. I seen one where you open a guy's room and he's just it's just nothing but wrestling. He had it all. He had this cabinet full of all the figures. He had several of the fucking belts. He even bought some ring used attire somehow.
Damn.
He had an attire from Macho Man. He had the hat, the coat, or whatever he wore. And it's just wow, dude, you fucking got quite a collection, man.
That's the way to go, man. That's what you call a real wrestling fan right there.
Yeah, well, it's also called having the fucking moolah.
Right, you better have the money for it, too.
Yeah.
But it only goes up in value, though, as time goes on, as long as you keep it in good shape.
But I've looked up the damn belts. You know what just a replica belt goes for?
I have no idea.
They're easily fucking $200-$300, brand new.
Damn.
Yeah, so you gotta figure this guy had probably five, I don't know, he had several, and you gotta figure he probably had easily $2 to $3 grand in fucking wrestling belts.
Damn. Yeah, that's fucked.
I mean, no telling what he paid for all those damn figures. I mean, he had hundreds of figures. He didn't have the biggest collection of wrestling figures I've ever seen somebody have was basically Grimm.
Oh, the YouTuber Grimm?
Yeah, he had the biggest. I don't know. I haven't followed him in fucking years now, but I know he used to have that room in his house where you walk in, and it was just like he just had this massive like shelf, and he had a figure of everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure he's big into wrestling, even though he's a goofball.
Yeah, he is a goofball, but I mean,
I haven't seen anything on him. I forgot all about Grim. That's the funny thing. I forgot about him.
The only time I stopped watching his shit, like when he went from like having like a warehouse to wrestling, and he wound up going back to like wrestling in a ring in a backyard of somebody's property, and it's just like when you watch the backyard wrestle, it's like, man, fuck this. It was way cooler when y'all had a fucking, like a warehouse to do that shit in.
Yeah, well, I know I was never really interested in him. Only part I was interested in when he got stiffed by wrestlers for real.
Yeah.
And Wrestling Rampage did a video on that a long time ago, and that made it into one of my Wrestling Rampage best of volumes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched him in years, but I would watch his like events that he would put on. Not to really give a shit about him wrestling, but I mean, he had some talented wrestlers that worked for him.
Yeah, because he had to pay for that too.
Yeah, but I mean, I always was interested to see the other people, but because like when you see two actual wrestlers like have a match, like he had I forget, like they both went on to like become like big independent stars,
right.
And they were actually they had some really good matches for just a little show deal like they were doing.
Right. Well, he had to come out those pockets to pay those wrestlers to come out there.
Yeah, well, you know who he also had on his fucking show before that was cool? He had fucking Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was like before Thunder Rosa became like big. This was like when she was just in the independent scene still.
Right.
Like
this must have been years ago.
Yeah, this was like prior to her. Like, cause I remember.
Was this before NWA Power?
Yeah, this was like probably sometime before, because like I knew who she was. When I saw her appear in NWA, I'm like, oh shit, that's her. That's fucking Thunder Rosa from Grimm's show. Yeah,
she's got it going on, man.
Well, she's pretty, man.
She's awesome. I always liked her. She could work anywhere. I could see her in any company.
I know everybody likes her with that how she always paints her face and stuff, but when you actually see her without the face paint, like, she's very pretty. Like,
oh yeah, and she's in great shape. She's got her own YouTube channel too.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Next question is: did you own SummerSlam 1992 VHS tape? I'm sure you did.
I sure did. Fucking Wembley Stadium.
Old school, sir.
Bret Hart versus Davey Boy for the Intercontinental title.
That's some old school awesomeness.
Yeah, I remember I found years ago. I forget where we were. I think we were on vacation. I was on vacation with my mom, my dad, and my brother, and we were up in this little town, and we were at this like thrift store. There was like a big old like thing going on. It was like a carnival like thrift store type deal. That was crazy. And I went and found some wrestling tapes that this person had for sale. He had it was WrestleMania 8 and SummerSlam 92.
Yeah.
And I bought them both.
Nice.
Like, I'll take those, thank you.
Next question is, did you own Survivor Series 1995 on VHS?
I didn't own that event, but I think I might have had it like recorded.
Recorded onto a blank VHS tape?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I might have had that, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember the event. I just don't remember if I ever I had it. I don't think I had it like on like regular VHS. I think it was like I bought a copy that somebody had, that they ordered it and recorded it. And I used to have. It was funny back in high school. I had a friend that would do that. Like he was always like ordering the event and recording it, and then at some point, like he made a deal with me that he started selling me his, recorded tapes.
Right.
Like he had like some WCW ones that I was looking for, like, and up to like in the like said like the WWF later events. I want to say I don't know though. It's hard to remember all those events.
Right on. So now I think what we'll do now is we're going to switch gears a little bit. We'll get back to answering questions in a minute, but I wanted to talk about, some of the wrestlers that had passed away this year and get into a little more details on, these guys and how they passed and all that bad stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them went out in a bad way, which, sucks. We'll start with Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan, man, I guess he's... Huh?
So he was a badass.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he started, like, sometime in the 70s. He worked for Jim Crockett Promotions, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, WCW.
Remember, he had that group, the Varsity Club.
Yep. And
he had Rick Steiner and Mike Rotundo and.
Right. Now he was, let's see here. He was born in 1949. Wow, a long time ago. And he passed away in August of this year, and at the age of 74. Oh. And let's see here. I want to go over his health. Now I read this earlier, and I thought this was pretty fucking crazy.
What?
It says Kevin Sullivan, back in May of this year, was involved in a devastating accident that had a major impact on his health. He underwent surgery, it says. It says the accident reportedly affected his ability to function independently. And it says here on July 15th, Sullivan claimed that he was in the process of recovering, but then it says Sullivan passed away from complications of a blood clot on August. Damn, man, that sucks.
I tell you what, dude, that's scary because, like, with a blood clot, like, it could hit you at any time.
Right, you're gone.
You could be gone like that.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
It's just like you're here one minute and you're gone the next.
Yeah.
But
Kevin Sullivan, though, remember he had that big rivalry with Chris Benoit.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, they had some wild, dude. I remember watching the first time they ever fought, and I think it was a Great American Bash of '96.
Right.
And remember they wound up fighting like all the way up to the fucking bathroom, and they actually fought in the bathroom, like, and you could tell they were stiff. Like, they weren't like.
I'm sure they hated each other for real.
Yeah, because Benoit took his wife, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I'm talking about, Benoit didn't, he showed that he wasn't fucking scared to take the,
Oh, he's a tough motherfucker, that's for sure. Well, both of them were.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I remember that was wild because, like I said, they had that. That was a hell of a brawl, and when they finally got back in the ring and it finished the matchup and Benoit got the win, it was like, damn, that was a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
That was the whole setup to the whole Four Horsemen versus Dungeon of Doom rivalry, because right after that matchup, like, Arn Anderson came in, and at first he thought that he was going to help Sullivan, and he winds up, like, him and Benoit just I remember when we were watching that with our other buddy back in the day, and I remember like Arn Anderson came out and he's like telling Chris like, hold on, fuck it, let's get him. And they started like kicking on him, and our buddy just started laughing his ass off like, wait, how the fuck do you find that funny? I guess it is pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's like, hold on, oh fuck it, let's get him.
Yeah. Beat that ass. Now also, in August of this year, Sid Vicious passed away.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. He was one of the greats.
Yeah, he had a couple different ring names. He had Psycho Sid, Sid Steele.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious. He was only in his 60s. That's too bad. Yeah. He was a tall, tough guy.
Yeah.
I remember him back in the day, man. Yeah. And he was in that movie too. What the hell is the name of that movie from the early 2000s?
Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble. That's right. He was in Ready to Rumble.
I remember Sid. First time I remember seeing Sid Vicious back in the days of wrestling when he was joined up with the Four Horsemen.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in WWF in the early 90s. He was in the Four Horsemen.
They teamed him up with Vader. Surprisingly, they never went like too big with that team because that would have been an awesome team, dude. Vader and Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
They were called Masters of the Power Bomb. They had a event set up. It was going to be Vader and Sid Vicious against Sting and the British Bulldog.
Yeah. It says that he passed away of cancer. Damn.
Yeah.
At the age of 63.
Shit ain't no joke.
And he was also diagnosed with heart failure as well. I mean, yeah, these wrestlers go through a lot, man.
You know, Sid Vicious, he did another movie, I forgot the name of it, but they had quite a few wrestlers in it from they had Kurt Angle was in it.
Yeah, I think you're talking about River of Darkness.
No.
Well, okay, because this one says there's starring Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Sid Vicious.
This movie had Sid Vicious, Kurt Angle, James Storm, and I think a couple other wrestlers appear in it.
Well, let's see. So what is it called? Death from Above?
Yes, Death from Above, dude.
Okay.
I bought that at a VHS copy at a video store years back, and I remember watching it. I was thinking, wow, this movie's a trip.
Yeah. What was it about?
It was actually cool. Like Kurt Angle in the movie, he gets taken over by this little alien, kind of remember how in Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday, where the spirit of Jason will take over someone and take possession of that person. Well, it's kind of like how this movie is. He gets possessed and he's got to kill James Storm because James Storm is an ancient ancestor or something of somebody that he feuded with years ago or something like that. But and it's funny, there's a part where it's he's driving a truck and he's jamming out to music, and they had this song I'm going to fucking kill you, I'm going to kill you.
It says here he was also he was in quite a few video games. He was in WWE 2K18 and 2K19.
That's cool.
You know, and some of the older wrestling games what is this?
It's funny, he's
Super
always
NES.
I always knew him as Sid Vicious, but when he came to WWF, they called him Psycho Sid.
Right.
He's Psycho Sid. I'm the master and the ruler of the world.
Yeah, big
dude.
You
know what though? He did win quite a few championships though. I remember he won the WWF title a couple times, and
He was also in WrestleMania 8.
Yep. Him and Hulk Hogan.
Yes, sir.
That was the infamous botch job by Papa Shango.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he talked about like he missed his cue. He was supposed to get down to the ring and interfere and caught, like when Hogan hit his leg drop before he'd get the 1, 2, 3, like Papa Shango was supposed to come in and nail him, but because he missed his cue and like he was way late, Hogan had already, like Sid had to kick out of Hulk's leg drop so Hulk wouldn't get the 1, 2, 3.
Damn.
There was also the return of the Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And let's see here.
He's another wrestler that I know he didn't pass away this year, but I know he
passed away years ago. Yeah.
Sucks, man.
Another wrestler that passed away this year, unfortunately, back in February, was Ole Anderson.
Oh, good old Ole.
He says he had a feud with the Four Horsemen back in the 80s.
Yeah, he was an original member of the Four Horsemen. And then, like, they wanted to play.
Oh, no, it says he had a feud with the Four Horsemen tag team with Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Back in 87 to 88.
Yeah. He had a big tag. He was a lot of time tag team with Arn Anderson. And, like, they were a pretty badass tag team.
Strong guy.
Yeah. He wouldn't take no shit either.
Yeah, a lot of these wrestlers don't. You have to be strong. You have to be very fucking, like, strong, powerful, all that shit, man. Mentally powerful, too.
Yeah.
Be in that world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the wrestling, like you said, like, you know, the traveling, the work that it takes, like, just the constant go, 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 you know? Like, it's like, it takes somebody tough to really want to live that kind of lifestyle.
The high performance lifestyle.
Yeah.
You have to be in shape, you have to travel, you have to wrestle, which you're getting fucking beat up every night. And you have to deal with the fame side of things, too. People always bugging you, asking for autographs, shit like that.
Yeah, it's like you can't even go, like, out to, like, a restaurant and sit and enjoy a meal without people running up to you, like, hey, man, can I get an autograph? Can I get you? It's like, motherfucker, can't you see I'm out here? I'm here having dinner with my wife.
Yeah.
You know, fuck off.
Exactly.
That's what I would be.
And then the other wrestler that passed away this year is Virgil.
Yeah, that's good old Virgil.
Which you know what? You met at a Comic-Con. You had him sign the picture.
Yeah, and I still have it.
Yeah, you bought a picture off of him, and he signed it for you.
Yeah.
Too bad you didn't take a picture with him, though.
I know, that's like, I didn't think of it, but...
Yeah, that's weird, because we were talking to the Honky Tonk Man, and you got a picture with him.
Yeah, and he came up and he took the picture, and remember, he messed up the picture, and Honky Tonk Man went off on him.
Yeah, he didn't turn on the what was it, the flash, I believe.
Yeah, he's like, oh boy, you ruined my picture. Oh boy, you messed up a wet dream.
Yeah, we met Virgil at the Motor City Comic Con. What year? What did we meet him? 2009.
Yep.
Long time ago.
We met Kevin Nash, the Honky Tonk Man, and Virgil.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool talking with them. They were pretty cool.
Yeah. It was cool, but I remember they had Christy Hemme there, and I was like, I don't know why, I was too nervous to go up to her and get a picture with her, because it's just like, I thought
she was fucking sexy, man. I'll tell you that. She's hot as hell.
Back in the day, she was a fucking hottie, dude. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, I was too, you know, I guess nervous to fucking go up to her. Like, it's like, oh man, a girl that you think that is so badass, and she's right there. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. What do I do? What do I do?
Just be yourself, you know. But yeah, Virgil was in his 70s when he passed.
Yeah.
And
he started off as the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase, bodyguard from the late 80s into the early 90s.
Yeah, I remember him and DiBiase, they split around 91 Royal Rumble because he's trying to order Virgil to do something, and Virgil's like, man, fuck this, and just like smashed him with his $1 million belt and was just like, we're done.
Yeah.
He never, you know what though, he never made it. I mean, he did make it a pretty good ways in WWF, but he was never like
a big star.
Yeah, like, I mean, he was a star, but he wasn't like, you know, like a main event player,
right,
you know,
star.
Right. You know, I mean, he was more like, as the years, like, he had that little feud with DiBiase. He had a good year in, like, probably 91, like, when he split with DiBiase, he started, like, his career started going up. Like, I remember he actually won the $1 million title from DiBiase from at SummerSlam 91.
Plus, at some point, he went into WCW.
Yeah, and he came in as like the bodyguard. It's funny, he went back in that bodyguard role for the NWO.
Yeah.
And then when that frizzled away, remember at one point he became a member of the WCW West Texas Rednecks group.
Yeah.
He came in and he actually changed his name, calling himself Curly Bill.
Yeah. Interesting
that didn't
name.
last long, and
I'm looking at his ring names here, and yeah, you're right. One of them's Curly Bill, another one's called Soul Train Jones.
Yeah,
That's
I think
funny.
that was prior to WWF, but I know he went from Curly Bill to, and then when they had that Vince Russo and the other guy take over creative in WCW, they had like him come up and he renamed himself as Shane. It's like a pun to like Shane McMahon.
Right. That's
and
interesting.
then kind of like his last name, he called himself. Do you remember his last match in WCW? He called himself by his real name of Mike Jones, and he got his ass whooped by Tank Abbott.
Damn.
He got knocked, as Chris Tucker would say, you got knocked the fuck out.
He was also, primary as a member of NWO in the WCW.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he was old school. I remember him he had a really good build back in the 80s. He must have worked out a lot, lifting weights and shit, because he was built pretty good. So
he took some bumps too, man.
I bet. It looked like he got stiffed quite a few times from wrestlers,
Yeah.
Some of these motherfuckers are hardcore, man.
You know, it's funny. He was the first pay-per-view opponent for Yokozuna.
Oh, cool.
Back in '92, when Yokozuna had his first like pay-per-view match, he took on Virgil, and dude, he fucking squashed Virgil.
Damn, yeah. Well, Yokozuna's a big motherfucker.
After the matchup, the guy went on to check in on Virgil, and he's sitting there in his dressing room, was like with his hands around his like, Virgil's like, oh man, he's tough. Everybody in the WWF better watch out. That guy's tough.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, what the? That's the kind of a lame excuse for, like, good way to sell it though. He's tough, man. He's tough.
Okay, so yeah, those are some of the wrestlers that passed away, unfortunately, in 2024.
Yeah, it sucks too, man. It's like as the years go on, we're losing more and more greats.
Yeah, it's this life is something, man.
Like, it sucks when you think back now, like in the 90s, all the wrestlers, you think back now, like, man, most of them are either dead or retired now.
Not Hulk Hogan, because it doesn't work for Hogan, brother.
Yeah, like I said before, death don't work for me, brother.
Yeah, that motherfucker, I swear, he's gonna maybe outlive us.
Yeah.
He just keeps going, man.
If you think about it, like I've thought about this. Every wrestler, like, that's wrestled Hulk Hogan at a WrestleMania is like pretty much dead now.
Right, he passed away.
Like WrestleMania 1, he teamed with Mr. T against Piper and Paul Orndorff. They're both dead. I don't know. I mean,
Mr. T, I think, I don't know, is Mr. T still around? I think he is.
I mean, if not, I'm just saying Roddy Piper. And
Roddy Piper. Yeah, those two are gone.
They're both. And WrestleMania 2, he fought King Kong Bundy.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Right, he's gone.
WrestleMania 3 and 4, he fought Andre. He dead.
Oh yeah, he passed away a long time ago.
Like in WrestleMania 5, Macho Man, he gone.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 6, Ultimate Warrior,
he
gone.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Basically every opponent of Hulk Hogan's for the first. Because I mean, I know WrestleMania 7. I don't know about the Sergeant Slaughter. I think Sergeant Slaughter's still alive.
Yeah, he's still around, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Iron Sheik, he's gone.
Yeah.
And he wrestled Iron Sheik, back in the day.
I watched a funny shoot interview with Kevin Nash. He was talking about one of his first road stories, and he said he was like in the car. He was riding with Iron Sheik, and he's like telling he's like, "Hey, who's the giant jabroni with the mohawk driving us?" And Kevin Nash, he looks back and goes, "I'm not a jabroni, Sheik," and Sheik's just like, "Of course you're not, Papa."
Yeah, he's one of a kind. That's a funny motherfucker.
Yeah, he was wild, dude. Remember the shit with Beetlejuice?
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of Iron Sheik, there's a funny clip I'm gonna be playing tonight with the Iron Sheik where he's fucking one of his shoot interviews where he's bitching about Brian Blair.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be playing that here real soon. Actually, we're gonna probably do this here when you're ready. We can start her up here.
Yeah.
Brian Blair. But yeah, Iron Sheik was a motherfucking just one of a kind, man. I mean, I love watching his shoot interviews because he's just a loose cannon.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the shit he just would go off. Like I remember there was one where he was going off on like his own agent or something because they tried to sit him next to the Ultimate Warrior or something, and he didn't like Warrior.
And he smacked his agent in the face.
Yeah, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
So yeah, I guess we could do that now. We'll start playing some funny clips for you guys that we found over the years, and we're gonna start off with this Iron Sheik clip. Let's see, this Iron Sheik shoot, he's humbling Brian Blair. He's talking about WrestleMania 3, I believe, from what it says. So let's get into this clip.
All right.
Here we go. Let's take a listen.
Excellent question. The great feeling all time I had all my life, Mr. Dan Maloney. It was that night, Pontiac, Michigan, Silverdome.
Correct. Silverdome, Pontiac.
Yes.
Michigan.
Old school.
And that was a great honor, great feeling to wrestling next to 93,000 people. No any musician, no any football player, no any sport event.
He gets worked up here in a minute.
Right. Garden. I mean, Pontiac, Michigan,
right.
Exam wrestler. It was a great feeling, Dan Maloney, try wrestling with Jim Brunzeller and that jabroni Brian Blair.
Brian Blair, right.
Brian Blair,
Here we go.
you are another faggot son of a bitch, no good, no life. So I want to let you know, you are punk, you are fag, you are punk, little gay, worse than Michael Jackson. That was a great feeling. I have a lot of respect for them. His partner, Jim Brunzeller from Minnesota, great athlete, great high jumper, but that little punk, Brian Blair, another little fag, worse than Michael Jackson. And I didn't like him. I didn't like his attitude. He was a punk. I can break his fucking back. break his back, make him humble, and then fuck his ass. I didn't do it in
Wow.
Pontiac, Michigan, because respect my sport and respect Mr. McMahon.
You were a professional.
A professional. Otherwise was ready to do it to him all country way, make him humble, suplex him, put him in the camel clutch, break his back, and then fuck his ass, make him humble to him respect everything. And I didn't do it because for the God and Jesus and Mr. McMahon. Brian Blair, you are no good. You are worse than Michael Jackson. I'll never respect you again. And then he was lucky to the big man American 2x4 hacksaw. You was lucky, punk. I didn't break your back to fuck your ass, make you humble. And he was lucky. Hacksaw Jim Duggan come save him, and I didn't break his back. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm a shooter, man. You're a punk. I respect your partner, Jim Brunzler. I never respect the gay. I never respect the fag. You are worse than Hulk Hogan. And you're lucky I didn't break your back and Hacksaw come save you. And that was a great feeling to wrestling 93,000 people, and you was so lucky to the Hacksaw come save you before I break your back and I do all country way to make you humble. And besides that, everything was great.
Wow, that's what I love about Iron Sheiks, man. He doesn't he doesn't hold back.
He doesn't. He tells you like it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna break your back if I make you humble.
That's some funny ass shit right there, man. I remember when I first seen that a long time ago. I was laughing my ass off. I thought that was fucking great. He's like, I'm a shooter, man. I'll teach you the old ways or something like that.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Hacksaw to save you.
That's good stuff, man. That's from the Iron Sheik, a shoot interview, him talking about Brian Blair. Now let's see here.
I like his hatred for Brian Blair.
Next funny clip we're going to play here is from Bill O'Reilly. I'm sure a lot of you will remember this, where he gets pissed off, you know.
Oh yeah, he gets. I think he gets more than pissed off.
Yeah, he gets pissed. I mean, which I can understand because he's a professional. You know, and these guys are fucking around.
People are wanting to mess around and not take shit serious.
And throwing shit up on the teleprompter, which he doesn't. You don't understand what the fuck is all this. You know.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? Turn it. Fade out. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Right. So let's get into this and let you guys listen.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out.
Inside edition.
What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is?
For credits.
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Here's where it's about to get real fucking funny.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Shit. Let's get pissed.
No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Damn.
4,
Damn.
3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Wow. And afterwards, you can see him. He's through his shit. He's taking off his coat. He's fucking pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too.
I would be too, man, because, like I said, he's a professional. You can't dick around.
Yeah.
When you're doing that shit, but that's
Right. Hey, it'd be like trying to fuck around with Hardcore Holly back in the day.
right. So you don't want to.
Happens.
You don't want to do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Messing with the wrong bowl. So let's see here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I want to play this small clip from South Park, the towel song or scene, the towel.
Yeah.
Yeah. This got this is funny as fuck. Where he wants to walk on the sunshine and shit.
Oh yeah, this is when he's sitting in the car and he's like, I feel like a cock on the wall.
Yeah. It's fucking. I didn't put that part in because there's music behind it, but I put the part right after where what's his name's like, "Hey, Tolly, what are you doing?"
Yeah, he's like, "Tolly, open up."
Right.
Being around walking on sunshine.
Yeah. He's what the fuck is he smoking? Like
he's smoking like a computer duster.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, but
like you spray on your damn keyboards or whatever. It's like they said you inhale that shit, you get fucking.
A fucking
that shit would kill you though.
A fucking towel. You know.
Talking cow.
So let's go ahead and play this part because I always thought it was funny as hell. So let's check her out.
Kelly, open the door. Go away, I'm walking on sunshine. Kelly, I gotta take you somewhere really important. Just let me walk on the sunshine a little more.
That's fucking hilarious. Just let me walk on the sunshine a little more.
Yeah, it was like let me walk on the sunshine a little more.
Damn.
That's funny.
That is really fucking funny.
Like, said the part where they had the music, he's fucking sitting there just taking big fucking hits off of it, and he's like, I feel like I can conquer the world.
I'm about to take this blue.
Oh. Now I got another clip. Speaking of hits, I got this other clip here from the YouTubers Channel 5 News or whatever. And this guy's interviewing this guy, and this heavy guy is like, I'm going to take this balloon to the fucking neck, and that's it. So he's inhaling the shit. It's fucking him up. And he's asking why, because he doesn't give a fuck about the authority.
Yeah.
Which I just like, what the fuck? And if you watch the video, it's hilarious. If you look at his girlfriend or the girl behind him, she's laughing her ass off. She's starting to smile and laugh.
I mean, wouldn't you? If you look at somebody, they're talking like that.
Yeah.
They want to start to the neck and
right. So let's listen to this clip real fast and you guys can look this video up. The video is hilarious. I suggest that everybody check it out. But let's check this out.
I'm about to take this balloon to the fucking neck, and that's it. Why?
It's high as hell.
Just because I don't give a fuck about the authority and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the authority. Save the cows, eat green, save my fucking ozone layer, and get more fucking tattoos and shit. Channel 5 News.
That's crazy.
He's like,
that's fucking funny.
Yeah, like, I'm going to take a balloon to the neck, and that's that.
It's like, I'm going to take this balloon to the fucking neck, and that's it. He's like, why? Because fuck the authority and shit.
Yeah, he's really like, fuck the authority.
That's fucking hilarious. That's
Dude, I tell you what would be a good one to do a reaction, that damn, remember the Ghetto Monkey?
Yeah, I've forgotten about that. We'll do that next time for sure, or in the future.
Yeah, that was funny.
I want to play this clip next with, it's a clip from Wrestling Rampage.
Yeah.
And this one's pretty cool. The ending I always thought was hilarious. And it's called WR Coming Out of the Closet Promo. So let's take a listen to this small 2-minute video here. The ending is fucking hilarious, what Pop says at the end. So let's take a listen. Listen carefully to what Pop says at the very end. Here we go. Wrestling Rampage.
Conspiracy victim. Conspiracy victim.
Where's Joey?
Conspiracy victim. Conspiracy victim. Conspiracy victim.
That's some good editing in this video.
Conspiracy victim. Conspiracy victim. That's what it is. A freaking conspiracy against Joey.
You see what happened?
Pops has the belt.
Walking around all over town with that sign. Conspiracy victim.
Hell yeah! I've seen the video
Tommy.
Joey did about him being a conspiracy victim. That's right. This is a conspiracy against me. Pops was talking about how our match was controversial, so I decided, hey, I'll give him a damn rematch. That's no problem. And what happens? He beats me. Then afterwards, he cuts the promo. He says that he's no closet champion.
Like I say, I'm not a closet champion.
He's a fluke. He won by fluke. Haven't seen no rebuttal, no rematch. He's never defended it. He never will defend it. He's a wannabe champion.
A
He's
wannabe
sitting on
champion.
that belt. Just like Brock Lesnar sit on that belt.
I'm sitting on that bitch like Brock Lesnar.
This is a damn conspiracy.
That's funny.
With that being said, I'm
That's
gonna go out
funny.
there, I'm gonna pedal my damn sign around until I get my rematch.
Oh, good Lord. Did you guys think that about me? Why don't we just have a three-way dance? The better man walks away. Wrestling Day champion. Let's do this right here. I'm a closet champion like Brock Lesnar.
I'm a That's fucking funny. I love that at the end where Pop. Yeah, I love that at the end where he's like, I'm a closet champion like Brock Lesnar.
Damn.
That's fucking funny. That's a good video. I highly recommend everybody check that out. And also go check out Wrestling Rampage on YouTube. Those guys do awesome work. And I've been friends with those guys for years. And I love putting together the Wrestling Rampage best of volumes. Check those out too, because those are in my playlist.
Check them out, check them out, check them out, check them out.
But yeah, that's a really good video. And I even talked to Joey about that. I said it would be cool to see these guys do 1 or 2 minute short skits like that, because they're naturally funny when they do stuff like that.
I'm a closet champion like Brock Lesnar.
Right. That's hilarious to me. I love that.
That was funny. Like you think it's some big like oh, here we go. It's like, fuck, I'm a closet champion.
Yeah. That's some good editing too in that video. That was cool. That's. But yeah, check out Wrestling Rampage, guys. Those guys do some good work over there and do a lot of good stuff. They got some podcasts going on a lot. I love their work, man, and I love their like small comedy skits like that. I love watching that type of stuff. I would like to see them do more of that type of stuff. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's
go back to answering a few questions here. We'll go answer a few questions about wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir, we are. Here, we got a good one here. Which version of Warlord WWF does Joe prefer? Powers of Pain, the late 80s, or the early 90s singles wrestler? He thinks both were great.
They were cool, but the early 90s when he did a single run, he had that badass ring attire.
Okay, so you prefer the 90s?
Yeah, and plus, he
prefers the 80s Warlord.
Yeah, I mean, 80s, like I said, him and Barbarian were both, were badasses as a tag team, but
right,
like, he decided to give him a singles run, and you had him come out with like a scepter with a W on it. He had like half a metal like face, and had this like, just like, he had that massive physique. It's like, even though they really didn't do much with him, like, I thought he could have been a monster fucking heel if he would have been done right, dude.
Yeah.
But you know what I found out, and I never knew this. I was going through YouTube, and back in '96, do you know Warlord and Barbarian actually worked a tag team match on a Nitro against Sting and Lex Luger?
Oh, interesting.
The only thing is they wrestled under masks.
Oh, okay.
They were called I think the Super Assassins or something, and one guy pointed out the fact that Warlord, even though you couldn't, the way their attire was, you couldn't really tell it was them, but he said if you look closely, Warlord's wearing his WWF boots.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it was funny, like they had a match working as the Assassins, and then I guess Warlord was gone, and then Barbarian, they teamed him up with Haku, which I always thought him and Barbarian and Haku were one of the toughest, baddest tag teams out there. Like the fact they never got to have a run as tag team champions fucking was shocking. Because they were a damn good team, dude. The Faces of Fear.
Yeah. You got some good ones out there.
Yeah.
Now let's see.
There are a lot of teams and wrestlers out there that had the look, had the fucking ability, really became like badasses, but never won a championship.
Yeah, that's let's see. What did you think of Armageddon 2005? He said for him, he gives it a 7.5 out of 10, and he gives the Undertaker versus Randy Orton Hell in a Cell match as an 8 out of 10.
That was cool. I mean, yeah.
What do you remember of? What? Has it been a while since you watched that?
I remember the event. I remember the matches, but it's been a while. It's been a long time, dude. Like, I thought that was, I know it was
been a while.
Great. Yeah, it's just locked.
I think I might have that on DVD. I'm not sure. I got a lot of wrestling DVDs. A lot of it I don't know what I have and don't have half the time. Let's see here.
When I started collecting wrestling DVDs, I just mostly collected like a few, like I would find here and there. Like, remember I always had a lot of the Royal Rumbles. That was my favorite matches in WWF history, was the Royal Rumble match.
Hell yeah, those are cool.
Especially like the early '90s Rumbles, like it was cool.
Yeah,
the talent that you'd have come out in those things, and like, oh man, who's gonna win?
Yes, sir. Next question is, what did you think of Survivor Series 1988? He rates it 8 out of 10. It had a beefed up WWF roster, from what he said.
Yeah, I remember they had one of the biggest tag team elimination matches.
Yeah.
It was like a who's who. That was pretty cool.
That's some old school, man.
Old school shits.
Late 80s, man. I think wrestling really, in my opinion, took off really well in the late 80s.
They had a Hulk Hogan. You get to see Hulk Hogan team with all the best of the best good guys. Like you had Bam Bam Bigelow, Don Morocco, Paul Orndorff, and who else? It was Don Morocco, Paul Orndorff. Oh yeah, Ken Patera. And they took on, remember, it was Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, the One Man Gang, Butch Reed, and Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh yeah, a lot of those guys are passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah. I used to love Rick Rude's WCW theme when he used to come out going, he's simply ravishing. Ow!
Oh yeah. Let's see. Next question is, did you own the NES game King of the Ring? Was it 1993? WWF King of the Ring?
I don't think so.
I don't think I did either.
No,
I probably played. I know I had the old school NES. Was it WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan on the cover?
Yeah.
But I don't know if I ever did the other. Let's see. Did you own the magazine, WWF magazine, July 1997, with Hawk Animal on the cover?
I probably did. I mean, listen, when it comes to magazines, I own so many of them, and I don't recall which ones I had. I mean, I know some of them, like I could look at specific covers and be like, yeah, I had that one.
Right.
But as far as like specific ones that I don't remember, I might have had. I probably did.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Some point.
Oh yeah.
Some point I did.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm sure you did, my friend. Let's see here. Going over some questions. Do you have a favorite Triple H match? Retro, something from the 90s or early 2000s?
Yeah, I got one. There was a cool Triple H match. The infamous hog pin match with him and Henry Godwinn.
Okay. What year was that?
That was late 95 or early 96, I believe.
Yeah. What about modern? Any modern Triple H matches, like from the 2010s? He says his is Triple H versus Cactus Jack, Royal Rumble 2000, and he likes Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania, was it 29?
Those are good. Those are two good matches of his, especially him and Cactus Jack.
Oh, yeah.
The street fight.
Cactus Jack can bring it, man.
Yeah. I'd have to say probably from like the 2000s, that probably one of my favorite matches, because it was like not just a one match, like him and Stone Cold Steve Austin had to went like 3 rounds, but like each match was different. Like one match was like a regular match. I think like the second match was like a no holds barred match, and like if you know the final match would be like a steel cage match.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And that was badass. Him and Stone Cold, baby.
Well, Stone Cold was, man, awesome motherfucker.
Yeah. Tell you what, it's funny when he became Stone Cold and became such a big name. It's like you go back and you look in his early days in WCW, or like World Class, when he was stunning Steve Austin. Right. And you're just thinking, like, you never would have thought, like, man, this guy's going to be a huge star.
Right.
You know,
and he came fucking mega big.
Yeah, skip towards into 98 when Stone Cold became the man. Like, it was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Next question is, do you recall the match Vader versus Max Payne from WCW Saturday Night of 1994?
Yeah, I do remember that match, and I mean, it was cool, but I really, like, if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a short match.
Yeah, so we might have actually done a wrestling match reviews on that. Who knows? Because we've knocked out many.
Yeah.
We got, as of right now, I've only posted a few, but we've got over 40 filmed and edited all together and all that.
Oh yeah.
So that might actually be on there. Then again, maybe not. I don't know. So you remember that old school match? Did you? So you think it was short? You say it was short?
It was short. I mean, it was a pretty decent match, but I remember, like, it's just, to me, I mean, it was cool to see the two of them hook up, but it wasn't like the big marquee match that, you could have really built.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hell, you got Vader and Max Payne, like, you know, two big old bulls, like, getting ready to go at it, and he just played off like, we got an interesting match here tonight, people. Like, fuck off. That should have been like a big ass main event. It should have been played up like, oh man, you got the monster Vader, I guess badass Max Payne, like, you know, because you always used to seeing Vader wrestling normal sized wrestlers where he could throw them around and smack them around, but you know, to get in the ring with a guy like Max Payne, who he's like, you ain't gonna throw me around and you ain't gonna bitch slap me, because I will bitch slap you back, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Some of them are hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them are, tough motherfuckers, you know.
A lot of toughies.
Yes, sir. Oh, this is a really interesting question. What did you think of those late 1996 WCW Saturday night videos in which were pre-recorded in an empty arena in which NWO guys wrestled jobbers and Nick Patrick was the referee?
They were, yeah, I mean, it didn't take up a whole, like, show. Like, they would get, like, one segment a week where, yeah, like you said, it was basically an empty arena.
And it says he said Nick Patrick was a ref in a mask.
Yeah, ref in a mask, and, like, you normally would just have, like, I don't know, like, basically, like, you just have, like I said, like, jobbers would show up, or, you know, and basically just get their asses handed to them in a bullshit way. Like, they had, you know, matches with the Outsiders, and, you know, wrestled, and other wrestlers wrestled, and it's just like, yeah, I see why that didn't keep going, because it's like, it's just stupid. Watching you guys just bully around jobbers and talk your shit. It's like, you really want to become big names? Like, you know, get some of the real talent in there to fucking fight you guys.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's the 90s for you.
Yeah. There's a whole build-up to the NWO. We got to keep them... That's the one thing that I remember annoyed me about the NWO was in, like, 96, going to 97, how it's like they could, like, you always wanted to see them get their asses beat, and like beginning, like they picked their spots, they came in when they had, you know, total control. It's like when you start seeing that week after week, it's just like, man, would these guys get their asses whooped already? You know?
Yeah, or they would run in on a good match and fuck up the match.
Yeah, that's what I hated. Like, they all, like, every, like, you have, like, main events, like, you're like, oh, man, I can't wait to see this, you know, and it's like, sure enough, midway through the match, oh, here comes the NWO.
Right. It's like, damn, guys, we had a great match going here, and you messed that up.
They had a match on, like, back in the early part of it, where they had Lex Luger against Big Bubba Rogers, who was, you know, formerly the Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
And they announced that the two of them were gonna have a match, and it was just like, man, I want to see these two go at it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And sure enough, halfway through the match, oh, here comes. I liked how they did it, though. They came in, they attacked Luger, and then they were trying to, like, make it look like they were trying to get Big Bubba, who, it was funny, months later, he actually became an NWO member, but in this one, like, they're playing him off, like, offering him, like, the deal, like, you want to join us? You want to go, fuck you. And they just, like, beat the shit out of him as well. Like, they totally played him. They made him think, like, oh, we're gonna offer you a part. No, we're not.
That's funny.
They did that shit too. They also did that shit to the Nasty Boys. You remember that?
I believe so.
They brought out the Nasty Boys, and they made you think that the Nasty Boys were going to be NWO members, and Hulk, like, turned on, like, I didn't sign this contract, so what are y'all doing out here with our shirts on?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They even did the same thing to fucking poor Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
They got him too.
Yeah, when Hogan won the belt in '96, like Brutus came out with like the NWO shirt on and a cake and all that stuff and he's like, "Yeah, I got something for you, brother. Like, get him, boys."
Oh yeah. Now let's see here. Next question is, what did you think of WWF King of the Ring 1997? He gives it an 8 out of 10. Triple H winning the event was golden, and Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels
fighting to a no contest.
Right. Undertaker versus Farouk. It was a pretty good bout.
The nation of domination.
What'd you think? What'd you think of the event?
It was all right for what it was. I mean,
97 was a great year, by the way.
Yeah, that was basically right before the whole deal with when Bret Hart was gonna turn bad and have his like Hart Foundation team.
Yeah.
I know it was during it. It was before he won the title back at SummerSlam. It was funny, like they started like how they were playing Bret in '97, portraying him as like the main like bad guy, and then like they also had Shawn Michaels who turned heel at SummerSlam, and it's just like they had the two of them like it didn't look right. You having two heels like face each other. And, even Bret said in an interview, he's like, once they turned Shawn heel, it's like, the whole thing was for, like, Shawn to be the good guy and Bret to be the bad guy. And it's like, now you've turned Shawn bad, you've taken away all my steam. And, and they even made it where, Bret can't go back to being the good guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like kind of put Bret in an awkward spot.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then them fucking him over at the Survivor Series like they did.
Right, yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
That was old school. Let's see. Do you remember the segment from June of 1989 where Dusty Rhodes is helping out, picking up garbage and riding in the back of a garbage truck?
Yeah, I seen that. I seen those little segments they had where they're trying to show like he was like the whole common man, that's just sort of like they showed a lot of deals. He's like riding in the back of a garbage truck. There was one where he was delivering pizzas. There's another one where
that's cool.
Doing something like I think he was a plumber or something. But yeah, it was all the deals that show like, hey, I'm just a common man. I ain't no. It's funny, and when he wrestled in NWA before he wrestled for WWF, you'd always see him like always dressed up like kind of like Ric Flair always was, like dressed up in suits and sunglasses and all that stuff.
Right.
And then you see him in WWF where he's just like doing a segment where he's got like just a regular like pants and shirt on and being like the the common man.
That's funny. Next question is, what did you think of Repo Man versus Crush, the SummerSlam 1992? He gives it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool match, but the fact that it was kind of weird, like you got two former tag team partners going at it with different gimmicks now.
Yeah. He even says it was better than the Shawn Michaels versus Rick Martel match.
Yeah.
Which he gives a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. It's funny though, you had Crush and, Repo Man, who, used to be Smash of Demolition.
Yeah.
Being members of Demolition together. Now you see the two of them like going one-on-one with different, under different gimmicks now. It's like, I remember even when they announced they were going to have that match at '92 SummerSlam, I'm thinking, because I knew Crush and Repo Man. Repo Man was formerly Smash. It's like, wait a minute, they're gonna have the two members of Demolition go at it.
Yeah, it's cool and interesting how things change over time and.
Yeah, like one year gimmicks. You have two guys as a tag team, be like red hot, and then next year, they're split and they're having a monster feud with each other. Yeah. Things change over time. Gimmicks change. Yeah. Friends
become enemies.
Like look at Sting and Lex Luger. How many years in wrestling they've been friends, and they even had some deals where they had rivalries.
Yeah. Lex Luger had a really good muscle tone back in the day, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of him, and same thing with Sting. Sting had a great muscle tone too, but back in the 80s, when he was tag teaming with the Ultimate Warrior, But let's see here. What is next question is, what is Joe's least favorite King of the Ring pay-per-view? He says his is King of the Ring 1995.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably have to agree because 95 was kind of a shitty event.
Yeah,
having Mabel win the damn event. Announcing King Mabel.
1995.
That was when you really thought the way they were doing the event that they were going to have like Savio Vega become King of the Ring, because he had to come out and fight, he had to fight a match on the pre-show just to get a spot in the tournament to replace Razor Ramon, who got hurt. And so he had to wrestle a qualifying match before the show, and then he had to wrestle 2 other matches and then fight Mabel. So basically he had to fight pretty much 4 fucking matches in one night.
Damn.
Yeah.
He took a beating.
But he came close to winning, but he got squashed by Mabel.
Damn.
Bye-bye. And then, it's funny. I mean, one of the matches that was kind of stupid for 95 King of the Ring, you had Shawn Michaels versus Kama. And, when you see the lineup, you're thinking, oh, man, Shawn Michaels. I'd have to give Shawn Michaels the nod to win, because I think he had the best chance, and he was starting to go back to being a good guy again after all that deal with when Sid attacked him and laid him out with 3 power bombs.
Right.
And then him and Kama wind up fighting to a time limit draw in the first round, and finally Shawn Michaels and Kama are both wait a minute, what?
Shit. Let's see here. Did you next question is, did you own WCW Nitro, Nintendo 64, released in 1999? I'm sure you did, didn't you? Did we play all the fucking wrestling games back then?
Oh yeah.
I know we played. I know there's a few that we got filmed back in the 90s and early 2000s, but I'm not sure if we ever filmed any WCW Nitro gameplays. Same thing with let's see, WCW Nitro Thunder.
I know I had WCW versus the World for the PlayStation.
Yeah. WCW Thunder PS1. I think he's talking about that's interesting. Yeah, there was a lot of good wrestling games on the N64. And did you I don't it's funny, I don't remember you fucking owning an N64 in the 90s.
I don't think I did. I know, like I said, I know I had Nintendo. I had, I think the Sega Genesis, and at some point we got a PlayStation.
Yeah, I had a Nintendo 64, and I think we did rent some wrestling games from Blockbuster, and I think we did pick up a few as well, but I can't remember all of them. It's crazy. Let's see here. But yeah, all the, like, a lot of the games like that came out in the 90s, like the wrestling games, I want to say pretty much most of them are kick-ass.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, like, I enjoyed, like, and I still go back and, you know, play games and film gameplays and put them on my channel once in a while, which is pretty fun, you know. So let's see here. Let's see, I'm going over some more questions. Did you have a Sid figure, 1990 or 1991? Sid just Bendham. Let's just say Bendham from Just Toys.
Yeah, I had his figure. I had several of those figures. I had Sting, Lex Luger, Ric Flair.
You had the Bendham figures?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure you had. Yeah, this is from 1990 or 91. Did you have it back at those? Did you used to pick up the figures back in the, you know, when they first came out? Let's say like in the late 80s into the early 90s and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would you go to get your figures? Like Toys R Us?
KB Toys, brother.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Universal Mall.
Good times, right? Did you ever go to like Kmart to pick up your wrestling figures?
Yeah, sometimes, but mostly I always went to KB Toys because you always knew they had the wrestlers in stock. Like Kmart, all those other places really didn't have like the big variety, especially like when they came out with the Hasbros and the, you know, the 90s. Like, you know, you might find a few at Kmart, but if you went to KB Toys, you had, you know, like fucking stacks of them.
Right.
And you could always for sure find the ones you're looking for at KB Toys more than anywhere. Missed that fucking place.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good stores back in the day that,
yeah. A lot of stores just ain't even around no more. Sucks.
They're gone, yeah, they're just not around. It's like, man, what the hell? It's disappointing when you see a lot of good stores, you know, like Blockbuster, Kmart, Toys R Us. Even Circuit City. I love going to Circuit City and picking up movies there and games. You know,
yeah.
I remember when I was working at Myers, and when I sometimes when I get off work, I would head on up to Circuit City, and I'd be like, all right, a new movie's coming out, and
I gotta get there and get it, boy. I gotta get there and get it.
Yeah, every Tuesday, man, my ass was up at like Best Buy, Circuit City, buying movies. It's crazy.
I remember.
Or it was good times, man. And now a lot of these places are just gone. It's just like, man, what the fuck? The kids that are, you know, they're being born now, or even a few years ago, they're never going to experience the awesomeness that we went through. They're just going to be able to see it on fucking, you know, YouTube
or whatever.
Yeah, you can watch videos on YouTube, but that's one thing. But if you were to actually be alive to, you know, hit up those stores, and, you know, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I miss that shit, man. That's some good stuff.
I do too, bro. I miss all those places as well.
Oh, yeah. Now let's see here. Another question is, what did you think of the matches at Bash at the Beach, such as Vader versus the Guardian Angel, and Hogan versus Ric Flair?
You knew that when they brought Hogan in '94, they weren't going to bring him in to have him lose to Ric Flair.
Oh, Hogan don't lose, brother. You know that.
Yeah.
Very rare to see Hogan lose.
Yeah, I mean, you seen him lose a few times though. One of the people I was always shocked that he lost to. He actually did the job for Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
It was on an episode of Monday Nitro. They were fighting, like, during the commotion, like, Arn Anderson got a hold of, like, I think, either Woman's or Miss Elizabeth's shoe, and, like, clocked them with it and got the 1, 2, 3, and people were like, "Whoa, Arn Anderson just beat Hulk Hogan."
Yeah.
That was probably, to me, that was probably the biggest victory in Arn Anderson's career.
Yeah, old school. Let's see.
I mean, there's not a lot of people out there that can say, like, hey, they got the 1, 2, 3 over Hulk Hogan.
Well, fucking Ultimate Warrior. Got him, you know. Definitely got him.
Ultimate Warrior is the only one that really, like, the one that beat Hogan clean.
Right. Because I know at that one, what was it? I remember seeing this when I was a kid, and I talked about this. Was when Hulk Hogan wrestled Andre the Giant, and Giant wins, but he got screwed over by a twin referee.
Yeah, I remember that shit too.
Yeah, that's old school. I need to watch that again because I haven't seen it so long.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, I got a good question here for you. He says, in the WWF magazine of 1997, they showed inside the catalog of WWF merchandise, there was a WrestleMania 1 through 13, all WrestleManias on VHS, 85 to 97, valued at $79.99. He asked, did Joe have this VHS set?
Hell no, I didn't. I couldn't afford that shit. I mean,
well, this was 97, so we were working at Farmer Jack's.
You're just getting out of high school and starting.
Yeah, we graduated high school, you know, and started work at Farmer Jack's. I know I didn't have it. I'd like to get it. I'd like to find that stuff right now, to be honest with you. All the VHS tapes.
Like I'm saying, somebody's got that. They're probably going to want a fortune for it now.
Well, it depends, too. You know, used, you could probably get stuff like that on a good deal. Sealed, on the other hand, ooh-wee, probably expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some of that stuff is gonna, as time goes on, it's only going to go up in value.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's, it's like, you know, especially sealed stuff, man. That's, it's pretty cool to have. That's why I keep certain things sealed. You know, I have some Walmart exclusives, wrestling DVDs that are still sealed. That came with, like, this keychain thing. And I'm not opening them. I'm just going to keep them sealed. You know, I could just find the regular DVDs themselves, but, you know, as of right now, they don't even sell wrestling DVDs anymore. So it's like, to get exclusives, you know, like at Walmart. They used to have also Best Buy exclusive, like the Blu-ray Steelbooks. Yeah. You know, which is really cool. But Best Buy don't even sell movies or none of that no more. Which sucks, man. It's just like as time goes on, like, it sucks. You know? They don't give you what we used to have, which was a awesomeness back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, at least we got YouTube still. You know, if you want to go back and look up the old school matches and shit, like,
right.
You know, you can at least watch that.
Yeah, I mean, true, but I mean, I've always said there's nothing like being alive during the awesome times. You know, going through it and picking up the stuff here. Let's see. But let me see. Next question is, does Joe recall WWF Primetime Wrestling 1992 where Sean Mooney was live at Events Center and Jameson interrupted Sean Mooney and gave him a tornado and a cup? Gave him a tornado and a cup. I believe this was where Sean Mooney was interrupted his live Events Center job. Do you remember that? I don't.
I don't.
That's 1992. Over 30 years ago, my friend.
Yeah, it is.
It's old school. It's old school here. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you watched this event. I'm sure you have. What would you review the St. Valentine Massacre WWF 1999 and Backlash 1999? He says he gives both events 8 out of 10. He says undercard and main events were solid. Do you remember both events?
I remember that's when Big Show debuted.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, during
he's talking about St. Valentine's Day Massacre and Backlash.
Yeah, I'm talking about St. Valentine's Day Massacre. That was the event they had where they had Vince and Austin go at it in a cage, and
yeah,
that was when Big Show debuted during it. Like, he busted out from underneath the ring to basically throw Stone Cold around, and it basically caused Stone Cold to win because he threw him against the cage, and the cage broke apart, and Austin was able to get out of it to get to the floor.
Yeah.
Dude, he beat Vince's ass at that event. Remember, he sent fucking Vince flying off the cage and through the damn table, and
yeah.
It's funny, he had the chance several times to win the match and could have just, walked out, but he just kept thinking he's like, no, if y'all want to see me whip this sumbitch's ass some more, give me a hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
Good stuff. Oh, he's got a good question here. He asked if, did me and you view together live the 1996 Pillman Got a Gun episode on WWF Raw?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we did. I think we did watch that live together.
I watched it live on Monday Night Raw, recorded it,
and brought it over. Okay.
No, remember? Wait.
I thought we watched it live together because I remember when I first seen that.
We watched it in school.
Did we?
Remember, I brought it to fucking class, and
okay.
We popped it on and watched it in front of everybody.
I remember when I first seen it, I was like, "Holy shit, man! What the fuck?" That was one incident in wrestling that actually I was like, "Wow, what's going on?"
Yeah, when Brian pulled that guy, I was like, with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And Austin 316 meets Brian Pillman's 9mm Glock.
Yeah. And I liked how, Stone Cold's going to his resident and he's beating up people.
Yeah, he's fighting two guys outside. He's throwing one in a kiddie pool, and then he opened a door of a SUV and put the one guy's head. It was squeezing. You'd see the guy ah.
And he gets inside the house, and then the camera cuts.
Yeah, it's right when he busts in, you see him walking towards Brian Pillman with the gun,
Right, him with the gun, and then they bring it back.
Yeah.
And I believe at that time he was outside or something.
Yeah, the very last minute of Raw, they got the footage back on. They showed the friends trying to hold back Brian Pillman and settle him down, and the guy's like, I don't have no idea. He saw the gun, and he left. Oh my God, he's back! And it's they're rushing him, they're holding him out, and Brian's got the gun. He's like, let him go! I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch! Let go.
Yeah, I remember being like, what the fuck is going on? Can they even air this shit on TV or whatnot? I think didn't they get in like some kind of trouble for that?
I don't even remember, dude. You gotta figure that was 96.
Yeah, I remember that was like hyped up, man, pretty big.
Yeah.
You know, Stone Cold's just a badass dude, man.
Oh yeah, when they let him go, when he fucking went from the ringmaster to fucking Stone Cold and dropped fucking Ted DiBiase as his manager and
right.
Just like I said, got developed that, got to let out, it was him going to ECW that helped him be good on the mic like he was.
Right.
Yeah, that's what changed. I mean, he always had, as Stunning Steve Austin, he had the wrestling ability to be a star. Like, he just had to find that, little extra. When he became Stone Cold Steve Austin,
that was it.
It was just like, that's it right there, baby.
yeah. Well, he had some cool. He was in ECW as well, having his promos and stuff. He was pretty good, man. But yeah, once he became Stone Cold,
that was it.
That was it. You let the tiger out of the fucking cage, man. And
it's like in Rocky 3, he got that eye of the tiger, man. The eye of the tiger.
Eye of the tiger, which is part of what Rocky. What was that? Rocky 3, Rocky 4.
Yep. Rocky 3.
Yeah, had that song "Eye of the Tiger." The Rocky films, by the way, are fantastic.
I love that the end of Rocky 3 when like him and Apollo are like in that that building alone, they're like getting ready to box, like they each go to throw a punch and they just like freeze frame it and you hear it. It's the eye of the tiger and I'm still.
Hell yeah! And not only that, even the beginning of Rocky 3, I thought was fucking great.
To show that what happened after he won.
He's beating the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah, but then it's bad though. You learn that he has fighting all these guys, but he wouldn't fight Mr. T. Like his Mickey didn't want him fighting Mr. T for some reason.
Right.
Because he knew that as good as Rocky was, like
he thought Mr. T was better.
He wasn't no match for fucking Mr. T.
Right. That's a great film. He ends up beating Mr. T's ass at the end, though.
Yeah.
I like all the Rocky movies. I know people shit on like the fifth film, but I like the fifth film. I liked all of them. I don't think there's a single Rocky film that I really dislike, to be honest. But I think the best ones were like 4 and 3.
Yeah.
As far as boxing goes. Rocky 4 is probably, one of the best boxing movies ever.
Yeah, except for what happens to fucking Apollo, man.
Right.
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Right. Fuck yeah. Yeah. He's built pretty good in that movie too. They were working out, from what I heard, for months beforehand. And
how about the way they had Stallone training in fucking Rocky 4, going into the damn, going to Russia, going to like a secluded area where he could do his weird like training methods.
Right.
But
they could become an ultimate badass,
Yeah, it's showing. It was cool, like showing the comparisons, the way Rocky was training and the way Dolph Lundgren was training. Like Stallone was training out in the wilderness, in the snow, cut down trees and running up mountains and shit.
Right.
Like where they show, Dolph Lundgren, he's, working out with like equipment,
Right.
injecting his ass with steroids and shit.
That's crazy.
I think in reality, though, dude, like the way they were showing how tough Dolph Lundgren was, I think in a real life situation, Rocky wouldn't have had nothing for him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. For sure. I got another question here, which is, does Joe recall the 1995 Christmas Day WCW Prime host Dusty Rhodes dressed up as Santa Claus?
I can't say that I did.
I don't remember that either. I had to look that up. Dusty Rhodes, Santa Claus. Let's see. Do you recall the Redford versus Jerry Flynn 1995 WWF Action Zone match?
Yeah.
That's one that we will probably end up doing a wrestling match reviews on, if we haven't already.
It was pretty good. Jerry Flynn ain't no joke. Even as a jobber, he still, he wasn't one of those, like jobber guys that just took a beating. Like, he showed that he could actually go.
Yeah, he could throw down, man. There's a lot of good wrestlers out there that can, that don't get the credit that they deserve. And they go through hell when they wrestle and stuff. They get fucking fucked up over time. Let's see. What did you think of the Mr. Perfect versus Jimmy Snuka 1990 match, WWF Superstars? Do you remember that match?
Vaguely.
I can't say that I do at all, actually. I'll have to look that one up. 1990, Mr. Perfect versus Jimmy Snuka. Man, I was a kid back then. Real young kid. Let's see here. Here's a good question, and we'll probably end it on this one. We're gonna wrap this one up because we're over 2 hours, so I think we've done pretty good. And we'll end it on this question here because I think this is actually pretty kick-ass. He says, important question for Joe. He says, Ken isn't just a friend, he's like a brother, right? And I would say absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we've known each other since, what, like 94? Like something like that, 93?
93, 94, somewhere along the lines.
Right. We were friends, in school. We graduated high school together. We worked together.
We lived a block away.
At one point we lived a block away, and then you moved like an hour away, and then you moved again, like, 2 days away.
About a day away.
Yeah, day and a half, something like that. You're out in Alabama, and I'm in Michigan. That's the thing, though. I'm hoping that we can get a chance to hang out in person again, because if we do, we're going to do some really cool fucking videos together.
Oh, yeah.
I plan on doing some big, like, game nights and all that cool stuff, like a big wrestling game night and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, man.
I think that would be pretty kick-ass. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. There's more questions here, but we'll answer this on a future podcast. We've gone pretty long, and this was pretty cool, playing some funny clips and
it was a great time.
Talking about wrestlers that had passed away and answering questions. Yeah, this is a pretty good one, man. I enjoyed this. I'll have to do that again where I'm playing some more funny clips. I definitely want to do that again. That's the first time me doing it and all. But yeah, this is it, guys. This is the end of 2024.
We'll see you in 2025.
Yeah, we hope you have a fantastic New Year's and whatnot. I know I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'll have some snacks, probably eat some really good food and whatnot. and kick back. I know like every year I post a lot of videos during the month of December. We have a lot of fun. We end each and every year with a bang, and go all out, with a good variety of stuff. And because life is short, man. You just gotta have fun while you're alive, man. That's my thing, because it's funny because it's like I feel like I'm in my 20s, and I blink my eyes, and it's bam, here I am, in my 40s. It's crazy, man. It's like, what the fuck? So in other words, life is short, man. Have fun while you can.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. So anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed this podcast. That is it for now, and until next time, have a good one. We out, and see ya.